Right, so we're going to start off by just making a really colourful base. These are done using brushes and Snazaroo paints. These colours aren't too important. We're just going to, like I say, make it really colourful and just kind of go with it. Then I'm adding on some patterns using purple. Snazaroo paints are good paints, but they do require a lot of layers. They're good for beginners because they're quite cheap and you do get a lot for your money, but they do require you to layer them up quite a lot to get them bright and colourful. So just keep on adding the paint. Just keep going with it. So just going for this really good tribal effect. Just patterns, these aren't too important. Like I say, the main feature of this face is the teeth and the eyes. So here we'll be adding some blue to the eyes, make them really bright and colourful. Just usual circles around the eyes. We're going to top up these layers with some black and some eyeshadow anyway, so this is just sort of the rough base that we're going for to get the face covered. We just need to shape the jawline, so just adding on these colours because we're going to layer over them with black and white layer. These are just to add the undertone. Now I don't want you to pay too much attention to what I'm doing on the neck. I just kind of went with it for the neck and it didn't turn out that great. So the main part of this is actually the face. I mean, it's just, again, they're just these like tribal patterns, try and make it bright and colourful. Now for this bit I'm using the Urban Decay Electric eyeshadow. I always add eyeshadow on top of my face paint because I think it adds a great like blending technique, and it also makes the colours pop a bit more than just your normal paint. It gives them a bit more depth. So here I'm going over all my pink areas with some pink eyeshadow. This is a really good palette because it does really bright eyeshadows. So I'm just going over them and then just sort of adding some areas to my orange just to make the colours a bit more, I'd say blended, but just a bit more depth to them. So I'm adding some like purple and then I'm going over the eyes with some blue just to like almost like fill in the patches that the paint might have missed. And then here we're beginning with the white paint. We're using this mainly as highlights. So all the places that I'm going to add black, I'm putting white first because it adds like a slight highlight where the black line will go. It just gives you more of a range of colours. But as you can see, I do have to keep topping up the paint on my white brush because obviously I've got paint underneath. So you will need to keep adding on to that one. Otherwise the white kind of goes like pink or orange or whatever by the time you get to the end of your stroke. But this is kind of just a really it's a rough setup for what the real detail comes when you start doing the teeth and you start adding the black. So just keep going with it. And if you make a mistake, do not rub it off. Just keep going with your mistake. That is the main thing to do with face painting. You're better to work with your mistake than against it. Otherwise it just turns into a disaster. I always use a really small brush for the black because it's great for doing the detail and you don't want really thick black lines unless you're filling in something. Always work with small. It works a lot better for getting the detail. So most places where I've done the white lines, I'm going over with the black. Like as you can see, it does add that like kind of like highlight thing, highlight tone going on. Just sort of going on with the nose. You will, somewhere along the nose I did make a mistake, but like I say, you just sort of incorporate it into the face paint rather than rubbing it off and doing it again. Like, it's quite an abstract face paint anyway, so it's not like every single detail matters. Now, here we're going to start with the teeth. I'm using quite a flat brush. I'm just sort of going in with the white paint, making sure the paint is really thick on the brush. So I'm adding that on, just sort of painting the teeth, and then I'll add the details afterwards. I always aim to do the teeth like towards the end or like last, because obviously it makes, I won't say that they're easy to smudge, but they're easier than to smudge your eyes. Like, you can't have a drink or anything while you're doing your teeth. So always try and do them towards the end. But they do really bring the face together once you've got it finished. So just really thickly layering on these white paint on the brush. Try and make them go together with the top and the bottom, so like the teeth kind of meet together. If you're struggling to follow a line, then you could even paint on a black line first. Make sure it's thin though, because you don't want the black line to run in with the white paint. But I mean, I've done this a lot, so I kind of know where the teeth should be going. You might want to top up some in case they're not bright enough. Now we're going to go in and add the shadows to the teeth and the outlines. Just a heads up, this bit really tickles when you're going on the inside of your lips with the brush. So just trying not to laugh halfway through, because you will smudge it. Now we're just adding in the shadows to the cracks of the teeth. Make sure you fill in any gaps that are close to the middle line, because you want to add the idea that the mouth is closed. Just sort of go around the bottom ones. The bottom ones I always cross over the black lines at the bottom, mainly just because that's where my brush naturally goes. Going to top up some black. We're going to make the frame the cheeks, which go around the teeth. Such a funny thing for me to try to explain. How I'm feeling on my pride is I wanna blame. Cause I still don't understand just how your love can do it, no else can. Got me looking so crazy right now. Your love's got me looking so crazy right now. Got me looking so crazy right now. Your touch got me looking so crazy right now. Got me hoping you page me right now. Your kiss got me hoping you save me right now. Looking so crazy loud. Got me looking so crazy loud. So here we're just adding some red to the teeth. This is mainly just to add some more colour depth again. It's just add these small little details that you do at the end can really go quite a long way. But I still Right, here I'm just using some eyeshadow again. This is purple eyeshadow I'm using to add some shadows. Usually I would use black, but I don't want to dim out the colour in this. I don't want to dim out the colour in this paint, so I'm just going around like the edges of the cheekbones and the edges of the mouth, edges of the nose. Very important that you blend out the nose because it can be quite like block-setty. Here I'm going in with the black eyeshadow, so it adds a nice touch just to go around all the black lines with some black eyeshadow. It just makes it like blend out slightly, and it does add a bit of a shadow effect to it. Add some eyeliner and mascara. This, I won't say it's vital, but it does make your eyes just look a bit darker. Just topping up some of the white on the teeth, just to make them stand out a bit more. And then just add some small details. Just sort of have fun with it. See where you want to go. I always add some white details because the white does sort of get dimmed down a bit by all the other colours. So it's nice to add some on at the end. I'm just doing the neck again. Like I said, I just sort of went with this a bit. It didn't really go as I planned. I was kind of a bit fed up at this point. So just do any kind of like tribal pattern that you think would go with the neck. Even if you want to do the neck, you might just want to do the face. But I always think it's good to have a bit of colour that goes further down. Add some sparkle. Sparkle's very important, just gives it that finishing touch, especially since this is so colourful. It brings out some light within it. And I'm just going around with some eyeshadow again just to add some more colour where colour is needed. And there we go. And that is it.